Namaste. Welcome to this introduction on the glory of Devi Maahatmyam, as it is called in Sanskrit. This will be a start of a series, and I'd like to welcome all of you for this first session. We'll start as usual with Jnana Slokam. Om Gajananam Bhutaganati Sevitam Kapita Jambu Palasara Pakshitam Upasutam Soka Vinasakaranam Namam Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Sankaracharya Madhyamam Asmat Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramadamam Devaki Paraparandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om. We start with this Om Shakti because we are going to talk about the glory of Shakti or Devi. Now, how does this name Devi come in? You know, Sanskrit has got a beautiful way of expanding a root. So the root here is Div. Div means to shine or dazzle. You have names like Divakar, right? Divakar refers to the sun. So from Diva, to shine, comes the word Devi. Deva also comes to the same root. Mahatmyam, something great. You talk about the glory, the magnanimity, the greatness of the Supreme Mother Goddess. She is called by different names: Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. In Navaratri, we worship all these three goddesses, right? So they are but a manifestation of the great mother, who is Devi, called Ambal, and we are going to talk about her glory. Let's see the first slide. Devi Maahatmyam. It is also called the Durga Saptasati. What is meant by Durga? Again, I have to tell you the beauty of Sanskrit here. Durg means a fort or something which is difficult to defeat. You know, people build fort. In those days, kings had forts built because they wanted to be safe and they wanted to make it impenetrable. They used to make big walls and put water around. And they used to have gates which can be lifted up. So it makes it difficult for the enemy to conquer. In fact, in Chhattisgarh, you have a city called Durg. Durga means one who is undefeatable. She's one who is so powerful that you cannot conquer her. So she's called Durga. Saptasati. Sapta, many people know what it means. 7. And Satam means 100. 7 into 100, 700. Saptasati. So there are 700 verses on the glory of Devi, what is called Devi Maahatmyam. Now, how did this Devi Maahatmyam come and where does it come? It is all part of our ancient scriptures. And this is the part of an epic called Markandeya Purana. Markandeya, people know, was Chiranjeevi, blessed to be always existing like Hanuman. So Markandeya Purana contains many stories, and this story of Devi Maahatmyam, it's actually a series of stories. This story was taught by Markandeya to Jaimini, who was a Sishya of Vedavyasa. So this Markandeya Purana containing many stories, which the Devi Maahatmyam portrays, it portrays Shakti, Mother Goddess, as the supreme power who creates, who cares, who dissolves, who deludes, and also liberates. In Lalita Sahasranamam, you have this description of the mother's function, not just 3, but 5 of them. Shriti Kartri Brahmarupta Goptri Govinda Rupini comes it. This is the creation also caring for you, and also Samharani Rudra Rupam, also dissolve, destroys. And Tirodhana Karishwari, which is a delusion, she also is a Maya Shakti. And finally, she gives you Sadasiva Anugrahata, she gives you liberation. You become one and you get a salvation. That is the goal of anyone in Sanatana Dharma. So in this story, you have a description of how Devi battles and wins over the forces of evil. It extols the greatness of Devi, which will inspire a lot of reverence and worship. So, this Durga Saptasati is a very long one. It has 700 verses. Maybe it will take about 3 hours to chant it with all the Purva Bhagam and the end. Some people may not be able to spend that much of time, but for them, it is also an essence. Like you have Vishnu Sahasranamam, there is an essence. Parvati asks Shiva, if people don't Keno, Payan, Lugnar, what is the easier way of reciting Vishnu Sahasranamam? To that, Ishvara gives an answer, Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Mano Rame Sagastarnama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanani. So Rama name itself is powerful, so if you recite this, it will be fine. So the Durga Sapta Sloki, which is just 7 verses, condensed, just 1% of 700, is condensed into 7 slokas, and that is the essence of Devi Maahatmyam or Durga Saptasati. So I want to tell you a little more about the contents of Devi Maahatmyam. It has got basically 3 parts. The first one is called the Purva Bhagam, which includes all the preliminaries. Starting from Ganapati prayer, we always start all our rituals first with praying Lord Ganapati, and then Kavacham, Stotram, Suktams, Navakshari, and Nyasam. Now, what is the difference between Stotram and Suktam? Stotram comes from the root Stuti, to praise. Like Vishnu Sahasranamam is a praise. Suktam comes from the word Sa Uktam, which means well said. Well said. So there is subtle difference between all these, which we should understand. And this Purva Bhagam consists of all those preliminaries. Nyasam is purification of the body. The second or middle part, Madhya Bhagam, has got a series of 3 charitrams. Charitram means history, as you know, which got a Pratama Charitram, which is number 1, which is chapter 1, which describes Madhu Kaidaba Vadam, the killing of Madhu and Kaidaba demons. Then there is a Madhyama Charitram, which is chapter 2 to 4. And then the Uttama Charitram, which is the third one, which goes from chapter 5 to 13. So in all, there are 13 chapters which cover 700 verses. And at the end, you have the Uttara Bhagam, or the ending one, which is the concluding part, which has the most important thing of Namakshari Japam, conclusion, beginning as well as the end, and Devi Suktam, and 3 secrets called Ragasyam, 3 Ragasyams. It's called Ragasya Trayam. So it has that 3 important Ragasyam. With that, we conclude. We actually also have a Chama Prarthana to ask Devi to forgive us for any mistakes that is done. I will tell you, how do we really prepare before we start chanting Devi Maahatmyam? First, of course, we should be clean in mind and body when you begin to wear your vibhuti, your chandan, kumkumam, whatever is your tradition, wear that. Most important is bhakti or devotion. So your mind should be fixed onto that. You should train your mind to have that deep devotion. Third, wear your traditional dress. Don't wear jeans and t-shirts. Wear panchakacham or dhoti, whatever you wear for rituals, with a vastram on the top, or male vastram on the top. And the ladies wear saris or whatever they are convenient with. 4, choose a very calm place. Don't sit in a balcony where there is a traffic going on and you are getting distracted with a lot of noise. A calm place, maybe a puja room, or a place where you don't have noise, free from noises, with a picture, even if it is a small one, like I have something on behind, a picture or idol of Devi for worship. So you have a figurative image in your mind. Have a seat. Don't stand and do it. Sit down. What is called an asanam, a wooden plank or a mat. And sit erect. Don't slouch like this. Where possible, sit erect, because it is then the flow, it facilitates the flow of energy. Wash your hands. Always when you go to temple also, the priest gives you a little water to wash. Your hands should be clean. So wash your hands. And do Achavaniyam. Pray first to Ganesha, as I mentioned before. There is saying, Kalau Chandi Vinayakaha. Kalau Chandi Vinayakaha means in the present Kali Yuga, you get immediate results if you pray Lord Ganesha and Chandi, which is Devi. Do pranayamam and take sankalpam, resolution. Please remember that Devi Maahatmyam must be chanted in Sanskrit, not in any other language, because it is original. And with correct pronunciation. That is very, very important. Sanskrit letters and words are absolutely divine. Every letter has an impact. Like simple Om, Om is pronounced. It is just one letter. It's called Pranava Mantram. It's universal. So every letter has to be pronounced in the correct way. That is why it's called Devanagari, the language of the Devas. It is a precise language which has a tremendous power in each letter and every word. And as you pronounce, so is the effect. You pronounce wrongly, naturally you get wrong effects. So that is the reason why I'm stressing that pronunciation is important, and knowledge of Sanskrit is helpful. But in my slides, I will give in Devanagari. I will also give you the English transliteration so that those who do not know Devanagari, it will help them to read it. But please listen when I pronounce it, and when you hear the correct pronunciation, repeat. That's the way to learn. So this is the main introduction of the three main parts, and I'd like to introduce the basic story, what it has. Now, Devi Maahatmyam is really a story of a king and a merchant, a king Suratan and a merchant Samadhi, who were both driven out from their homes by circumstances. The king lost to his enemy, and his own family members and ministers discarded him. And so the merchant was also, he lost in business and he was driven out, and then both of them were driven out by their own people, and they came to the forest, and they met each other in the forest, and they start exchanging their woes. What happened to you? Who are you? And so on. They don't know why. They still keep thinking about their own people, even though their own people drove them out. So they go inside the forest. They meet a saint there, a Muni. His name was Sumedas, sage Sumedas. And they seek the counsels. They tell him what is their problem and ask them why we are feeling this way. Our mind still goes out to the people. The king says, I am thinking about my elephant. The merchant says, I'm thinking about wife. And the sage explains to them that this is all a result of what is called Vishnu Maya, a delusion or an illusion. And then he tells them, he narrates the story of Devi Maahatmyam. He says, you pray to Devi. And in this story, he recounts the battles of Devi and how she wins over so many asuras or evil forces. At the end, of course, the king and merchant pray Devi, and then eventually they get what they wanted. So that in brief is the narration or a narrative of Devi Maahatmyam. So it's something which is very, very inspiring. And as we go along, I will tell you more. What do we get out of it? A lot of people ask this question to me, sir, what do you get about after chanting Devi Maahatmyam? Do we get any results immediately? You know, this is a very highly result-oriented society now. Anything you do, people want results immediately, including corporations and governments. But here, there are so many benefits. I can't really tell you how many are there. But number one, it promotes Vak Shakti, the ability to speak, the ability to pronounce words correctly, the ability to convey your thoughts in the most effective manner. So that is a big benefit, isn't it? In fact, I taught a Sanskrit student who was struggling to talk in the school. And the result was that he improved himself so much, he got himself so confident that his mother came and thanked me for having done this work. That boy, he didn't go to the doctor, but he came, instead learned something in Sanskrit, and then he's doing much better now. So the benefit is that your ability to speak comes better, and it enhances the appreciation of the beauty of Sanskrit language. It expands your vocabulary. You read anything in Sanskrit, you will probably be able to understand. So one of my objectives in teaching this is not just philosophy, but also explain to you the beauty of Sanskrit and help you to appreciate it much better. And also you'll learn more words, and then your vocabulary will expand. When you read some other scripture, you will understand the meaning. That is the benefit. Then this Devi Maahatmyam, it inspires, it improves courage, you become self-confident, and it motivates to be very effective on whatever you're doing, your job, at home, with friends. That's the way we have to lead life, isn't it? It gives you strength for your nerves, it rejuvenates the cerebral nerves, blood vessels in the body, helps you ultimately to lead a happy and healthy life. I conducted a camp called Double H, Happy and Healthy Life. 2 H's there. Most important, everybody is seeking this double H, happy and healthy life. So you will find with strong devotion and chanting this, you will experience the benefits yourself. I don't have to even tell you that. You will experience the benefits yourself. So that is the greatness of this Devi Maahatmyam. Having said that, let's say, I want to tell you a word about Sri Bhaskarraya. You know, this Bhaskarraya lived in a village called Bhaskarrajapuram in Tamil Nadu, India, which is adjacent to my ancestral village called Maharajapuram. Oh, the deity, the village deity in Maharajapuram is Vishnu Durga. I showed the picture in the first slide. You'll also see some more pictures in the subsequent slides. One of the most powerful deities who was worshipped by sage Durvasa himself. It's a small temple, very beautiful, but you must go there to see how peaceful it is. And in the adjacent village of Bhaskarrajapuram, which is named after Bhaskarraya, he was a Maharashtrian who came from Maharashtra on the invitation of the Maharashtrian king at that time in Tanjavur. And he settled down there in Bhaskarrajapuram. And he was a great Devi Upasaka. Devi Upasaka means what? One who was following Devi. And he demonstrated the power of Devi in so many occasions. A scholar par excellence, brilliant in Sanskrit, brilliant scholar too, a brilliant in astrology. And he was the first person who wrote the commentary for the great Lalita Sahasranamam that Adi Shankara attempted but could not do it. He lived in the 18th century, 17th, 18th. So not very long ago, and he wrote the Lalita Sahasranamam, and he also wrote the Bhashyam for Devi Maahatmyam called Guptavati. Lalita Sahasranam Saubhagya Bhaskaram, and Devi Maahatmyam he wrote Guptavati. Gupta means, Gupta secret. That's why you have Guptas. Guptavati. So I have actually introduced Sri Bhaskarraya in a separate video. You can see it. It is called Bhaskarraya Parichayaha. And in that one, you have this beautiful introduction about Bhaskarraya. So you have such a eminent guru, and that village is also very good. So he has a temple in the name of Bhaskarraya, and his teachings are also considered the most authentic and used by a number of people in teaching Devi Maahatmyam. So going further, I want to teach you today just the essence of Devi Maahatmyam, share with you the beauty, and then we can go into the detailed one. So here, I will recite this slokam. This is the very first slokam called Sapta Sloki, Sri Durga Saptasati. Jnani nama vichetamsi Devi Bhagavati Hisa Balada Krishna Mohaya Mahamaya Prayachati I'll repeat again. Jnaninam api chetamsi Devi Bhagavati Hisa Balada Krishna Mohaya Mahamaya Prayachati. It starts, the very first thing starts with the power of Mahamaya. It is so powerful of Devi Bhagavati. Even Jnani Namapi, Jnani Nam is even the Jnanis, the saints, the enlightened souls. It pulls them. Balad Akrishna. Balam means strength, right? Akrishna means to pull, like a magnet. Akarshna. Mohaya Mahamaya. The big delusion. She attracts the Jnanis also towards this moha or delusion. This is the very first of the Sapta Slokam. It is all coming in different parts of Devi Maahatmyam. As I mentioned, they have just picked out these 7 so that it gives you the essence. So if you don't have time to do a complete Saptasati, this is a very convenient form of reciting and easy to learn also. The second slokam, it says, Durge smrita harasi biti maseta jantoho swasthai smrita madimadiva subham dadasi dharitya dukkha bhayaharani katvadanya sarvopakara karanaya sadartha chitta. Again, Durge smrita harasi biti maseta jantoho swasthai smrita madimadiva subham dadasi dharitya dukkha bhayaharani katvadanya Sarvopakara Karanaya Sadartha Chitta. So easy. What does it mean? Durge Sprita. Sprita means remember. When you are in distress, you're in distress, you remember Devi, what happens? She removes all the fears. Biti Maseta Jantoho. All beings. The fear goes away when you remember her in distress. What happens when you remember her when you are very happy? You don't need to remember her. No, even then if you remember, there is a result. Swasthai smrita swasthai. Swasthi means being well, isn't it? Swastho, in Hindi also we say that. Swasthai smrita, when you remember her, when you are happy and you are well, mati mati va subham dadasi. Mati mati va subham dadasi. She bestows super auspiciousness. Subham means auspiciousness. She bestows super auspiciousness. Daritya dukkha bhaiharani katvadanya. She is the one who else, katvadanya, katvadanya. Anya means who else can destroy. Daridra means poverty, destroy poverty. Dukkha means sorrow. Who else can? Bhayam means fear. Who else can destroy poverty, sorrow, and fear from our lives? Sarvopakara karanaya sadartha chitta is always helping everybody. Sadartha chitta. So that is the beauty of the second slokam. The third one, this is many of you will be familiar with this because this is recited in a number of places. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Sive Sarvartha Sadike Saranye Trayambake Gauri Narajani Namostute. She's called Gauri. Gauri is yellowish white. It's called Gauri. People have names also. They have Gauri. But she's Narayani because she happens to be the sister of Narayana. 3-eyed. You see the Ardhanarishwara here, the picture. Shiva has got 3 eyes, so she also has 3 eyes. Saranye Trayambake, 3 eyes. Gauri Narajani Namostute. What does it do? Sarva Mangala Mangalye, who is the most auspicious. Sarvartha Sadike grants all wishes. To whom? For those who surrender. Saranye. Those who surrender to her, that Gauri Narayani, the 3-eyed one, the most auspicious, grants all wishes, whatever you need. Such is the greatness of Devi. Going further, the 4th slokam. Now here you see the picture of the Vishnu Durga in my village. She's called Vishnu Durga in Maharajapuram. This picture is taken in the same temple. It says now, Charanagata Deenartha Paritrana Parajane Sarvasyarti Hari Devi Narayani Namostute. Charanagata Deenartha Paritrana Parajane Sarvasyarti Hari Devi Narayani Namostute. Namostute means namaskaram to you, salutations to you. Who Narayani? Who removes the suffering of all, Sarvarthi Hari. What is the work she is doing? Charanagata Deenartha Paritrana Parajane. Paritrana means protecting. You have taken up the work. Charanagata Deenartha, those who surrender to you, those who are distressed, weak, and who seek refuge with you, you have taken up the work of protecting them. And you remove the suffering of all. The fifth slokam, Sarvaswarupe Sarvese Sarvasakti Samanvite Bhaye Basrahino Devi Durge Devi Namostute Sarvaswarupe Sarvese Sarvasakti Samanvite Bhaye Basrahino Devi Durge Devi Namostute Sarvaswarupe. You are seen in all forms. The moment you think the Devi is existing everywhere, you see her everywhere, then the difference, Vedam of one with other doesn't arise at all. Everybody becomes one. And she is a queen, Sarva Shakti Samanvite, who rules all. Vaye Besrahino Devi, you save us from all fears. Here it could mean even terror. Like for example, we are all facing this big pandemic problem called COVID-19, and a lot of people, millions of people are affected. It is a kind of a terror. It is a fear for many people. Save us from that fear. So it's a prayer where we are saying namaste to you, O Durga Devi. We see you in all forms. You are the queen who rules us, and you possess all the Sarva Shakti Samanvite. Please save us from terror. Prayer. You know, you keep saying it, you'll automatically get rid of fears. Here is a picture of Maharajapuram Vishnu Durga. She is dolled in sandal paste, Chandana Alankaram. This was done in one of the functions we had, and she looks so majestic. You know, generally people think that Durga means a lot of weapons like Kali Devi in Calcutta, but here she is in Saumya Rupam. She has the Sankha Chakram like Vishnu has, because she's in that Rupam of Vishnu. She has Shankha and Chakram, but no other weapons. She's in an extremely gentle form, a smiling form, a form which gives you blessings. Saumya Rupam, as they call it. So that is the reason why I put this picture. This deity is so powerful. Going further, Durga Sapta Sloki here, the sixth one. Rogana Seshana Pakam Chitushta Rushtatu Kamana Sakalana Bishtan Pamasrita Navipannaranam Pamasrita Hyasrayatam Prayanti Rogana Seshana Pakam Chitushta Rushtatu Kamana Sakalana Bishtan Pamasrita Navipannaranam Pamasrita Hyasrayatam Prayanti. Rogam means, you know that, no? Disease. When Devi is satisfied, at that time, she is in such a great mood that she destroys all diseases. Rogana Seshana Pakam Chitushta Rushtatu Kamana Sakalana Bishtan. Sakalan Abhishtan. Abhishtan means desire. You fulfill desire for whom? Sakalana Bishtan, all. all wishes, all desires get fulfilled. No calamity, no problem befalls when Vipshrama Sritana Vipannaranam. Nara means men, human beings who have sought you. They in turn, Paumasrita Hasrayatam Prayanti, they become refuge for others too. Because once you get Devi's blessings, you also start offering the same gifts to other people. So the final slokam we come to is number 7, which is the crown of the Sapta Sloki, the top. Sarvabada prasamanam trailokya akileshwari evameva tvaya karyam asmat vairi vinasanam. Sarvabada prasamanam trailokya akileshwari evameva tvaya karyam asmat vairi vinasanam. Sarvabada. Ubadai, we say in Tamil, no, some little problems you have with your health or ubadai, any trouble. So sarva bada means troubles. Little troubles, big troubles. Somebody facing very difficult questions to answer, or somebody having financial problems, somebody having health problems. Everything is a bada. Sarva bada, she covers all these problems. Prasamanam, she removes the sufferings. Triloka Trishri, all in the 3 worlds. Evameva tvaya karyam is all your work. That you remove the sufferings of all. Asmat vairi vinasanam, all our enemies must be destroyed, including the COVID-19. In fact, it's very effective to remove diseases because scientists are struggling for the last 6-7 months. They are not able to find a virus. It's so difficult. But we can remove it. That is why a lot of people are now chanting Devi Maahatmyam because she can. Asmat vairi vinachanam. Please bless us. All our enemies must be destroyed. So that is a concluding crown of Sapta Sloki. And we will chant these. Those who cannot do the 700 slokam, at least the 7, they can chant, which is easy but not take much time. So that is the reason why I have put the Sapta Sloki as the first part. So there is a subsequent series coming up, which I started in Tamil. I did 2 sessions on Tamil because there are people who wanted me to do it from India. So I said, okay, we'll start this lesson in Tamil. And I have covered this same thing in Tamil before, but it wasn't recorded though. So this is a recording which I hope will be useful to most of you. So with that, I come to the last slide where I want to give you my contact information. And this is the idol of Sri Bhaskarraya, who is carrying Devi on his shoulders. And this picture I took in Bhaskarajapuram when they did the Kumbhabhishekam for the temple, Bhaskarraya temple. And this is a very beautiful idol. You see how smiling they are, very motivating, very, very inspiring. So you can contact me on this Gmail, gurujisubi@gmail.com. Also, website you can refer to is easyhinduism.com, where you will find the updates and also a listing of the various videos. So, Jai Mata Di, I want to conclude this with Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Parashakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Parashakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om.